Long before the Aztecs built their empire, before the Maya reached their golden age, and long before Europe even knew this land existed, there was a city so vast and so mysterious that later civilizations believed it could only have been built by gods. They called it Teotihuacan, the place where the gods were born. Hidden in the northeastern valley of present-day Mexico, Teotihuacan began rising around the 2nd century before the Common Era. Unlike most ancient settlements, it did not grow slowly from a small village. It appeared rapidly, born from chaos. Many scholars believe its founders were refugees fleeing massive volcanic eruptions in southern Mexico. Forced from their homes, these people gathered in a high-altitude valley and began building something never seen before in the ancient Americas. Over the next several centuries, the settlement transformed into one of the largest cities on Earth. At its height, around 400 AD, Teotihuacan covered more than 20 square kilometers and supported a population of over 100,000 people, possibly far more. At a time when only cities like Rome could match its scale, Teotihuacan stood as a true superpower of the ancient world. Yet despite its size and influence, it left behind no readable written language, no known kings, no clear records of its rulers or political system. For centuries, its people remained silent, their identity lost to time. That silence has finally begun to break. In a remarkable scientific breakthrough, researchers used ancient DNA analysis to uncover who the people of Teotihuacan truly were. This was considered nearly impossible. The basin of Mexico is extremely hostile to DNA preservation. Heat, humidity, and volcanic soil slowly destroy genetic material over centuries. Earlier attempts failed, leaving only fragments. But this time, scientists succeeded in extracting complete mitochondrial DNA from ancient burials. Mitochondrial DNA is passed from mothers to their children and remains largely unchanged over thousands of years. It provides a direct window into maternal ancestry and population origins. The samples came from ordinary residents buried in apartment compounds, as well as from a sacrificial individual found beneath a major temple. Together, they revealed a powerful truth. All individuals belonged to ancient Native American maternal lineages known as A2, B2, and D1. These genetic lines trace back to the first humans who entered the Americas during the Ice Age. There were no signs of foreign or unexpected origins. The people of Teotihuacan were indigenous to the region, deeply connected to the land they built upon. Even more revealing, their genetic signatures placed them firmly within the central Mesoamerican population group. This confirms that Teotihuacan was not founded by outsiders or conquerors. It was built by local populations of central Mexico. Yet the genetic diversity within the city was striking. While the people shared common roots, they came from many different regional branches. This suggests Teotihuacan was a true melting pot, drawing people from surrounding towns and valleys into a single massive urban center. To understand how these people lived, scientists examined stable isotopes preserved in their bones and teeth. These chemical markers reflect long-term diet. The results showed an overwhelming reliance on maize. Corn was not just a food source, it was the foundation of their society. Feeding such a vast population in a dry highland valley required advanced agriculture and sophisticated water management systems, revealing a civilization of remarkable engineering skill. But even the greatest cities can fall. Around 550 AD, Teotihuacan entered a period of violent collapse. Fires swept through its ceremonial core. Temples were burned. Statues were destroyed. The damage was selective, targeting elite palaces and administrative buildings. This suggests the destruction came from within. The people may have risen against their rulers. Soon after, the population dispersed, the canals filled with sediment, and the city was abandoned. Yet the people did not vanish. The same genetic lineages found in Teotihuacan still exist among indigenous communities in Mexico today. Groups such as the Nahua, Otomi, and Mazahua carry the living legacy of the city. Centuries later, the Aztecs stood among the ruins, overwhelmed by their scale. They believed the gods had sacrificed themselves there to set the sun and moon in motion. They named the city Teotihuacan and wove it into their myths. Today, science allows us to look beyond legend. What we find is not a city of gods, but something far more powerful. A city built by humans, real people, whose descendants still walk the land. Thank you for watching Mystery Vault. If you enjoyed this story, consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, stay curious.